Hello, everyone. Welcome to Remote Winners Share Your Success Story. In this series, we are delving into people who are succeeding at remote work. We have a very special guest today. She's Flavia. Hello, Flavia. How are you doing?
Hello, guys. Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. First of all, thank you very much for agreeing to share your success story with us. I really appreciate. How about we begin the chat by you introducing about yourself, what you currently do, and how you ended up being a remote champion.
Yes, so my career starts more than 10 years ago in the data space. And so I started as a business intelligence consultant in Rome, Italy. And then after 5 years, I decided to move to Ireland in Dublin to continue grow as a data specialist. And then in 2020, just before the pandemic, I come back to Italy. And right now, I'm currently a senior data engineer working remotely for user-centrics. In particular, the remote working journey started between 2019 and 2020. So now it's 5 years that I work remotely.
Well, that's great to hear. So you started from Italy and then you came to Ireland on 2018. So how did you find that transition?
Yeah, no, of course, at the beginning, it was a completely different culture. So I needed to understand, of course, people and habits and also a different weather,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Were people
Uh,
friendly?
yeah, no, people, I would say they were also quite friendly. And also I really appreciated the way of working there because, of course, it was also completely different from Italy itself. So you were more valued. You were, I would say, more able to show your skills and also have the chance to try also and innovate different things. It's something that in Italy instead we kind of struggle, especially when we want, I don't know, to bring new projects or we want to bring new ideas. It's something that instead I found very easy to do in Ireland in general.
Okay, that's good. So when you say different values and you also ended up with easy to work, so what did you quite mean by the values and also easy to work?
The fact is that sometimes companies are like more driven by politics. It's kind of difficult, yeah, as I said, to emerge as a person. And instead, I feel that, yeah, in Ireland in general, so in the Irish company that I work for, so this was not the case. So, like, if you had an idea, if you had a strong opinion, if you wanted to bring, as I said, something new or completely change processes, so this could happen. So, like, they actively listen to you.
Okay, all right, that's good. That's very good. How many years you spent in Ireland?
I spent almost 5 years there.
Almost fun.
So from 2015 to 2020. And then I come back to Italy on 2020.
So those 5 years you were fully office based?
Yeah, except for the last year when I
Yeah.
was kind of, the company started working in an hybrid mode.
Mm-hmm.
So we were kind of spending 1 or 2 days at home and then going to the office for the remaining days.
Right.
And also I was able to travel to Italy and work from here from time to time, completely remotely.
All right. That actually sets the tone very well. So when you started the fully remote work in 2020, so that is probably the biggest transition when you're working
Yeah.
in the hybrid or in the island and then transitioning into a fully remote. So how did you find the difference working in the semi or in the office space and completely remote from your home country?
Not a big difference, I would say. So because I've already started working remotely. So in my previous company, the biggest challenge that I had probably was related to the first period when I joined the company. because like it was the onboarding period, and in that particular case, unfortunately, the onboarding was not really well structured. Every time that I had a question, or every time that I need to reach specific people for again specific questions, it was difficult. So I needed to wait also days for getting an answer. So it was, I would say, really related to the onboarding period. So when you're starting understanding the company, how does it work, the colleagues that you need to reach for specific needs that you have. So this I would say was the biggest challenge from transitioning role.
With that, in that initial period, so you said it's challenging. Of course, you have succeeded it. What did you do in order to, overcome those challenges you mentioned in the first initial period until you get to know people more, get to know the company more?
So of course I relied a lot on the documentation. So I was reading a lot, trying to absorb as much as possible asynchronously, and then continuing asking questions. So even if the answer would have arrived a day or 2 days later, so just keep, because I would say the worst thing that you could do is not like asking questions anymore and kind of give up. But instead, I haven't given up. And if I, for instance, if I wasn't able to reach a specific colleague, it was not answering on the chat, or it was busy, particularly busy, then I was checking if other colleagues, other maybe teams, or that they have worked for similar topics, could be reached easily. In that case, so I was then able to get my answer.
Okay, you seems like you're a fan of asynchronous communication rather than a meeting or a call.
Yeah, I know, because as I said, so having a meeting or a call in that case was even more difficult, because if they were not answering on your chat, then of course getting a meeting or getting a call was even more difficult. But then in that case, so as I said, if I wasn't able to reach that specific person that I was asking, who can I reach? So is there another colleague or another person that working on a different team that I can reach instead, and then can answer my question.
Those people that you're reaching out to get help, where are they based? So you're in Italy, and where are those people based in?
They were based across Europe in the case. As I said, so they were spread across different countries, because I was working with different countries at the time. So I was working with Greece, I was working with Bulgaria, I was working with Poland, so I was working also with Italy too.
Those colleagues that you're asking help are scattered all around the world. Let's say do you time the messages, like, I need to send this message to these people because they are, let's say, a few hours ahead of me, and then you send these messages to them first,
of
and then
course, I was also working with people from India.
Yeah, right.
As you
They're
can
like
imagine,
5.5 hours ahead sometimes. Yeah.
Exactly. So as you can imagine, of course, I needed to target the emails or the specific message, also calculating the time zone difference in that case. If they were in Europe, okay, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's easy. Yeah. And instead, I was also working with consultants in India, external consultants in India. So of course, I needed to reach them differently.
So when it comes to working remotely and your comfort of your own home country, let's say, so how do you balance your day? For example, working plus doing stuff that you love to do. Could be your home, could be with friends. How do you balance your day?
Yeah, I try to, for instance, I think it's something in Italy or in general in Latin countries that we like to go out for lunch. So this is, for instance, a nice break that I like to have. So somehow I have a full break, because I was also noticing people in the offices, for instance, that they are eating in front of their computers or the laptop, so they don't have a break at all. Instead,
you do take a break. You do take a break.
Instead, I like to take a full break for lunch. I think because, I don't know, we are Italian, so for us, I don't know, eating it's something that we need to stay at the table eating, so spending time chatting, talking about something else. So that's one thing that I like to do.
I think
Of
that's
course,
really
also,
nice.
yeah, and also because weather can allow us also.
Mm,
So if the weather is good, so we like to have also walks very early in the morning, so before
hmm
starting work. So if I don't know, if I have to buy groceries or if I have to buy something specific, so I like to do it, I don't know, at around 8:30, so before starting at 9. So
Oh, that's
it's
good.
another way of like somehow not staying uh, at home all day.
So your key takeaways when it comes to breaks, you actually go away from your desk, go away from your
Yeah,
house,
yeah,
and then you actually spend that time outside.
outside. Yeah.
I think
So
that's
so
really
you don't
important.
have the feel of staying at home the whole day.
Indeed, I think that's a very good thing to do. Do you have a lot of friends around you or family around you?
Yeah, actually, my family lives in the same building that I live.
Okay, I
Yeah.
think that's nice.
And all of my friends, yeah, they are mainly here in Rome.
Mainly in where you're based in. All right.
Yeah.
So you see like an easy commutable distance for you if you were to see a friend in lunch break.
Yeah, too. Yeah, if of course if they live close my apartment, because Rome is quite big. So
Yeah.
I live in the south. So if there are someone that lives in the north, yeah, unfortunately we're not able to see each other during
Yeah,
lunch
indeed.
because it will be like
Yeah, it'll be a
a
half
pretty
day
long
lunch.
journey. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But
agree.
yeah, for instance, sometimes I spend like lunch with my family because they are here. Also, my brothers, he has different like times, so he doesn't work the standard 9 to 6. So there are some days where he's off during the week, so
Mm,
he has more time to spend with me. So uh, it's a good way also, yeah, spending time with my family, having a break uh, on the same
that's
time.
great.
Of course, yeah, this is like particularly, yeah, it's a particular situation for me,
Mm,
so it's not always like this.
yeah, but as long as you're responsible, you're enjoying the benefits of working remotely and doing your tasks and
Yeah, I think
having
I also
breaks.
chose this type of also working
Mm,
because it allows me to, yeah, stay close to my family.
I agree. Do you go for like runs, that kind of things during the day to get away from the desk?
No, not really, because
Mm.
I'm not a running person.
But you enjoy
So I
walking
enjoy
instead.
more walking. Yeah, I enjoy more walking. We go, yes, sometimes during summer we go to the park. Yeah, as I said, we also spend lunch at the
Mm.
park, for instance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also an habit that I was having in Dublin. So when we
Mm.
were having sunny days,
Yeah.
so like
That's
spending
actually,
lunch.
yeah, very good. Sorry, slight interjection. Sun or being on a day where it's sunny. Does that change your working mood or working pattern
Yeah,
if
yeah,
that's a sunny day?
yeah. For me, so I'm a
You
really like person that depends a lot on the weather.
right?
So for me, it's if it's sunny outside, yes, so I can work better.
Mm.
So
Okay.
staying outside, as I said, so allows me
Mm.
to have a nice break.
Mm.
So going to the park, staying at the
Mm.
sun, so having lunch. So yeah,
That's
it's
good.
good
Yeah.
for my mood.
Yeah, that's very, very good. Nothing compare a proper break from actually, going out rather than sitting in front of the desk all day, isn't it? I totally agree. Yeah. Do you use things like, let's say, to-do lists to plan your day when it
Yeah,
comes
yeah,
to
sure.
start your day?
Yeah, it's
You
something
do.
that I put in my calendar, yes. So like to remind me, yeah, appointments of things that I need to do. So especially because yeah, when you work remotely, sometimes you go full on focus.
Mm,
You forget that you also need to do something else after work.
mm.
So I put in my calendar, yeah, specific things like if I have a medical appointment or if I need to buy, as I said, something that I need or for work or for myself. So put it in the list. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. As we speak, the sun is really shining in front of my window, so I'm going to slightly reduce the brightness. Yeah. that should be all right.
Yeah, yeah. But I kind of also, when it's cloudy, I kind of force myself to go out sometimes. So
Okay. So you go out regardless of the weather just to
yeah,
stay out.
that's again, yeah, trying to break the routine.
Wow, that's great. So coming back to one of the very first things you mentioned about the communication, like asynchronous or going on a meetings. So what sort of communication in a meeting you enjoy? Like, you enjoy a video calls more than an audio calls, or just audio calls? If you are to talk to somebody, what's your preference?
So I prefer the videos. If it's like a one-on-one conversation or like with small with a small audience, of course I prefer the the video call. Of
What?
course, if it's a big crowd,
Mm-hmm.
when I was working in Coca-Cola, for instance, we were having meetings with, I don't know, 20 or 30 different people. In that case, we were not using the
Mm.
video calls because it didn't make sense at all that we were like seeing, I don't know, different
Okay.
people. We were
Okay.
not really able to see all of these people. So in small audiences, I prefer the instead the video one.
Okay. Yeah, I personally like video calls, whether it's in a one-to-one or people, a lot of people, but when you're talking to one person, it's not one person talking in that group, as long as I can see their face and I can sort of read their facial expressions, so I can sort of see that either, they're enjoying the conversation, or they're still confused, or they are not quite understanding.
Yeah.
Sometimes with our video calls, especially at remote working, not like in your office, you have something called, spontaneous actions. You can see, oh, I can understand like that, but you can't quite see this when you're working remotely behind your screen if you at least don't have your video camera on.
During one-on-one, or as I said, so with only two or three people, I really like the
Mm,
video. Also because
mm,
I really like have a little chit chat before we start talking about work task. So like having a chat, laughing, or talking about something else before actually starting working. So I think I think it's nice, and having it like in a video, yes, it's even better.
in a meeting, do you allocate like a set time beginning of the meeting, like 5 minutes, to have a chat, have a laugh before you talk about work, or do you just do
Yeah,
that
no, I
casually?
think this is something that I like because I like, especially because in remote working, so it's not that you can see your colleagues all the time, so you don't know what's really happening the day, or like what they are doing besides work.
Mm,
So that's why I really like every time that I have this is something that I do. So this is something that
yeah.
I really like to, as I said, establish a connection, even
Mm,
remotely. So it's something that I always do before every meeting. So asking, how are you doing? I don't know, have you traveled somewhere
yeah.
interesting? How's your day to day? This is
Mm.
something that I really like to do.
Yeah, it's so personal, isn't it? Because more you become personal towards your colleagues, and more you bond with the colleagues, and you have a nice operating unit within your department or your team, you get more when you connect with your people.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because I really believe in this connection that you need to create with your colleagues.
Mm,
It increases empathy, I would say, allows you to understand, like, if someone if in a specific day maybe it's not as happy as it was, I don't know, yet, and then you ask how are you doing, it's happening in your life, and then in that
mm,
case you can also understand better, or okay, maybe today it's better not to bothering him too much, or
yeah.
so I can send in an email, or I can send this message tomorrow. So, like, because I don't know, is really stressed for something, I don't know, with his family, or something happened. It's particularly stressed. So again, this little chat allows you also to calibrate your asynchronous
Yeah.
communication. At least this, allows me to say, okay, so maybe not so many Slack messages, or not so many calls yet today. If we can push it tomorrow, then it's fine.
You said that if you feel like you shouldn't be messaging that person because he's feeling a bit low, on that day. How do you read that from that person that, oh, he's not feeling quite good today, maybe I should send an email instead?
Yeah, that's what I said. Because if I have like a call with them before, then I can, of course, better understand. Of course,
Mm,
from the chat is more difficult to
mm.
understand it.
I feel like you're more empathetic person to um, uh, work with or towards your colleagues, which is, I think, it's a very good thing. I think it's a rare
I
thing to
think
be.
so. This is kind of an advice that I think it's important to give. I think that you need to be. It's important in the office, but it's
Mm,
also it's more important, I would say, in remote working.
I 100% agree.
So especially because, as I said, so you don't have this regular relationship with your colleagues, so you need to do the effort. So you need to
Mm,
ask, you need to understand the person that it's there. I cannot make this connection with them. So, and this is something that it's important in the office. But yeah, as I said, it's
yeah,
because it's more
I
difficult
yeah,
from a screen. Then you
I
need to
100%
put
agree.
more effort.
Yeah, I totally agree. I
But
cannot agree more on that.
yeah, but as long as you had this trust,
Mm,
then you'll work better, I
I
would say.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I manage 4 people in my team, and I find quite a big difference when I check on them regularly, and then we discuss about tasks. Then on the days I don't check on them regularly and talk about tasks, that's a noticeable difference in how they interact, for example, because even though you're behind the screen, you still miss that connection towards each other. The more you spend time trying to understand others, it helps in many ways. I first-hand experience that, so I totally understand where you're coming from. Right. On a slightly different topic, now you have a lot of experience in remote work, so this is probably a very good question to ask and get insight from you. How do you find the career growth in remote working?
Yeah, this I would say it's the big question
Mm,
because of course you don't participate to the office say experience like your managers. They don't see you regularly compared to other colleagues that are probably in the office, and so you feel that you are kind of missing, of course, that career opportunities that probably a person that works in the office can have. So again, this requires let's say active part. So like you need to take ownership of projects. So you need to show, as I said, certain soft skills even through a screen. If you have a lot of asynchronous communication, like we have it, for instance, in our company, you need to understand how to communicate properly to your colleagues. Again, so learn how to ask questions, learn how interact with stakeholders. So even by writing stuff, in the case, then you need to make an effort towards them to kind of understand them and then make you understand also. So make them understand you.
indeed,
Yeah,
that is,
so this is of course again, so it can be stressful, it can be difficult, but if you want to grow, I think this is the only way to do it. Of course, so showing your progress, and of course talk with your manager, so like setting up the one-on-one that we mentioned, so even regularly, so and create a career path that it's a clear career
mm,
path, even if
yeah,
you're working remotely, kind of try to standardize the stuff. I know, that sometimes it can be difficult if a company doesn't have like a career path well defined. But then if they don't have it, then the other things that I mentioned can help. So like taking ownership of projects, gaining, as I said, the trust of your managers, because I think again, so this is the number one thing that allows you to grow. Because if your manager doesn't trust you, doesn't trust your work, especially because
yeah,
you are remote, then of course, it's more difficult to grow. Instead,
yeah,
if you show that you take ownership of your task, that you
yeah,
bring value to the company even remotely, that you are bringing results and again
yeah.
bringing value, This definitely helps you a lot.
Indeed. What's the one thing you would recommend to gain your manager's trust while working remotely?
Transparency and honesty, it's
Mm.
the first thing. Like, because of course, remotely can be difficult to track what you're doing. So sometimes, it can happen that people don't understand exactly what you're doing. We use like tools, for instance, for project management. And also we have regular meetings, like showing honesty, also saying, look, I will not able to finish this task by tomorrow, or I will not able to finish this task for these reasons. So I will
Yeah.
need more time. And this allows your manager to understand that you are honest and he can trust you so that you are doing your job. Because I would say the main problem is that sometimes manager, they don't understand what you're doing. They don't trust that you are actually working. So
Yeah.
create instead this trust is the first.
I agree. Sometimes we feel like we shy to tell when things are not going well. We think,
Exactly.
oh, let's tell when things are going good, but that means we are not giving any update for a few days. Then the manager must be thinking, what is he doing? What are they doing? Because there's no progress, there's no update. So you're
That's
telling,
why I'm kind of obsessed of
mm,
writing updates in our project management tool, especially for this reason, because in this way I make aware my manager on what I'm doing. So like every couple of days saying, okay, I finished this task, so I put this in production, I finished this, or again, so I'm blocked because of this, can you do that? So especially if you are blocked, and you need to talk to other people, you need other colleagues' help.
yeah,
So in this, like writing updates, but don't expect that your manager will. So don't expect that your manager will ask updates. So be proactive in this
be
sense. So
proactive. Yeah.
So
Mm.
provide you updates every 2 days, on your work.
Yeah,
So
I
in
totally
this way, I
understand.
think you can build the trust, and then you can
Yeah.
show what you're doing. And then of course the career growth is
Yeah.
kind of a facility better in the sense.
Indeed. Now that's very insightful. Thank you. So in your in your career growth, uh, which strikes me all the time, is you need to continuously be on with the trends, keep up with, expanding your knowledge, looking what's new, and constantly
I would
updating
say, but
yourself.
this is more for in general in IT,
Yeah,
in our
in IT,
sector. Yeah.
indeed. How do you cope up with it?
So for this, also we kind of established good remote working practices. So then we kind of we block like some time in our calendar, so to dedicate, to development, personal, like
All right, is
development.
that per week? How often you do that?
Yeah. So we established that it's once a week.
All right.
If like we are interested in certain topics, or like we want to learn new technologies, or we want to spend time developing ourselves, then we put a block in our calendar. So for us, for instance, it's Friday.
Every week, Friday,
Could be different day for a
different.
different theme that we dedicate to our development. Of course it depends on the period, because for instance right
If
now we are learning a new technologies, so we are spending more time learning, so
right,
we are like dedicating more blocks for
yeah,
this. But in this case, so we said, okay, we want to dedicate some time, some focus time on our development, then that's a practice that we decided to do.
that's good. How like an hour or two every Friday, let's say,
Yeah,
you spend dedicating a couple of hours.
yeah,
Right. Okay, that's good. Yeah, it's a good practice, I think, for everybody to follow, dedicating allocated time to improve yourself. Yeah, I think that's really good. I take fully on board that. Yeah.
yeah. Of course, I understand that it's not always the case, because there are periods where your project totally absorbs. So it wasn't always like that, because of course in specific period of times we
Yeah,
were
sometimes
more
we need to meet
absorbed.
deadlines.
Yes, especially when you need to deliver a big project. Of course, your time is fully dedicated to this deployment, for instance. Of course, it's more difficult to keep it.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's something that we try to push.
Okay, yeah, that's good. No, thank you for that insight. Slightly changing topics. Do you like to share like a mistake that you did whilst working remotely that you think others should know?
A mistake. Okay, I wouldn't say a mistake. I would say something that I was not approaching in the right way.
Okay.
So probably, yeah, also at the beginning of the remote work. So because you need, as I said, so you need to write a lot asynchronously. And sometimes when you have a discussion in the chat, and you are trying to convince a colleague of your opinion or about an idea or a task that you want to bring forward and they don't agree with you, then the conversation can become a little bit difficult because you are simply writing. So sometimes you don't write in the correct way. So one of the things I learned is that I always try to make examples so that I can show on the screen, like a
Right.
practical example that you can show, like a screenshot or something, that you can easily show,
Like
that can
something
make you
visual.
something visual,
Right.
exactly, something
Right.
visual that can
Rather
make
than
them
just saying
understand.
in words, you can present
Exactly.
something.
Yeah,
Okay.
here's an example of what I'm saying, and this can help understand better, so like the discussion instead of simply like writing something.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the extra 10 minutes you spend to draw something or like a quickly mock something,
Yeah.
which actually helps in many ways to avoid unnecessary communication, yeah, misunderstandings. I agree. I totally agree.
This is something that I improved over time because initially, I was struggling a little bit with this, and then seeing other people that were like working more remotely, it's something that I learned to do better.
That's great. That's very good to hear. I personally enjoy drawing a bit of a mock, taking a screenshot when I'm trying to explain something. It just saves so much
Yeah.
unnecessary misunderstanding. Oh, thank you. That's very insightful. What is your advice for a fresher joining a company remotely?
Yeah, so as I said, of course, when you are joining a company, so it depends if you are, of course, senior or junior. So if you are a junior and you are also working remotely,
Let's say junior coming out of maybe university, joining a new company, fully remote.
so as I said, always ask. So ask on the chat. Of course, you don't need to be an annoying person. So of course, always ask politely.
Mm?
So when you ask something, but if you think, because as I said, so it's a for a junior can be really difficult to be autonomous because when you work remotely, you need a lot of autonomy and
Yes.
a lot of independence that, of course, when you are a junior person, you don't really have. So that's why asking questions and have regular, as I said, one-on-one with your manager, exposing if you are struggling with something, exposing this concern, even if you are a junior person. So don't be shy from this perspective, because it's even
Yeah.
worse if you try to solve everything by yourself, and then what you are deploying something or you're showing this to the senior, so probably tells you, no, this is totally wrong, and then you need to start from scratch, and then you are more frustrated. So it's better than to start
Asking
better
questions.
asking question first, and then you can work on your task or on your like daily activity. And then, as I said,
Yeah.
this constant communication, especially during the first period, is important.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good. No, thank you very much for that. I do not want to miss asking this question from you because I previously gathered that you won an award for innovation whilst working remotely. So this is a good example that you can actually excel working remotely and you can actually earn awards. What I would very much like if you tell us a bit about the award you recently won for innovation whilst working remotely.
Yeah, but in that case, I was in Aviva, so we were still in this hybrid
Hybrid
mode.
model.
Yeah, so I was still in the office. Yeah, so I was doing a little bit of remote and a little bit of the office.
But you managed to gain trust over it, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah,
of course. In that case, yes. Really, for the award, it was more about my work in general.
you work in general. All right.
Yeah. So as I said, I take ownership of this big project that it was machine learning
Yeah,
based in 2018 of 2018, beginning of 2019 was something pretty new
yeah,
in the data space. And so I demonstrated that we could save money using like this, implementing this project. And then and basically we were more efficient and we were also providing, of course, more accurate data.
yeah. That's
So
good.
because I also really enjoy working on these projects. So it was really also fun.
Yeah,
So
that's good.
it was not only work. It was kind of something mutual,
Right.
because I was really enjoying working in a team and with my
Yeah.
manager. So she still, she was great. She's still great.
So that trust you gain helped you to
Yeah.
fully become a remote worker.
So my manager said, okay, so if you want to work from Italy from time to time, yeah, it's no problem at all. So
All right.
because she could trust me, and as I said, I had full respect for her.
Oh, that's great.
Again,
Yeah.
is about showing your dedication, your motivation to the work, and you are capable of delivering. And again, that you are proactive. So that's why I said the trust is kind of the first thing that you need to
Indeed.
do for career progression.
Indeed. Absolutely. No, thank you for that insight. So what I'm going to do next is I'll just ask this, rapid fire question, 3 questions, and then I can wrap up our chat. So what is your go-to tool in remote work that you cannot live without?
Yeah, Slack is definitely something that helps a lot. Our internal chat or something that it helps a lot with our work. And as I mentioned, our project management tool. In this
Yeah.
case is Asana, but it could be Jira, it could be whatever. Yeah, like
Yeah.
project management tool.
Yeah. Well, thank you. What's the biggest misconception in remote work?
The misconception, is the one that I mentioned. So the fact that if you are working from home, that you are not basically working, that you are doing something else. So you are doing things that are not work related, and that's not true. As I said, so if you show results, if you gain the trust of your manager, so this
Yeah.
misconception, is not true anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And your best activity for having a break during the day, you already mentioned. You can mention that again.
The best activity is taking a break for lunch, so going out for
Going
lunch.
completely out from where you work.
Yeah, so like going to the park or go to a restaurant, like so completely like break from your like office space. Yeah, at
Office
home,
space.
and then
Indeed.
talking about something else. So spending time with friends or family during this time.
Right. So we have come to the end of this session. Thank you very much, Flavia, for sharing your insights on remote work. We really appreciate that. For audience, if you enjoyed the video, enjoyed the chat, feel free to share with your colleagues, friends who you think might benefit from this conversation. So if you want to hear more stories of that, feel free to visit remotewinners.com. Until we meet next time, keep winning remotely. Bye bye. Thank you, Flavia.
Thanks to you.